For today's cup of coffee.
Cup of coffee.
This is just a matter of being persistent. Persistence.
Persistence is key.
Oh my God. We're recording this 8/8/2024, which was 8/8/8. And it was
That's
just
lovely.
day from hell.
Wasn't it though? I think it's been 3 days from hell by now.
We're recording this at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time,
days.
or Eastern Standard Daylight Time.
Yeah,
The kids started back to school today.
they did.
So that's why we've got the backdrop going on. Now, my day is just, this has been ridiculousness. And it's one of those, I don't know if it's the matter of I have a moon in Gemini and Libra rising and a whole hell of a lot of Virgo. But it's just like, oh my God, I made it through so far without an assault charge. But it could still happen.
It could still happen and be caused by youngest kid.
The epicness of this week. And it's like, because with the type 1 diabetes, and it always amazes me, and I don't know why, because it cannot penetrate my brain that some people are as vapid as they are.
Oh, yeah.
And that there appears to be a growing number of them. And
well, it's the time that we're living in right now.
And it's one of those, this deal with the trying to explain diabetes, trying to explain type 1 diabetes, trying to get insulin for said type 1 diabetes.
Loves it. and
so
the struggle that comes with that.
It started Monday.
Because, the lady that you were talking... It did. But the lady that you were talking on the phone earlier with, she wasn't understanding some of the stuff that you were saying, or at least that's how I interpreted it. And you had to repeat yourself.
Yeah.
And it's like, girl, how are you not... She's saying it plain as day.
I don't know. That happens a lot, and I'm like... I don't think that I'm an ineffective communicator. Now, I do understand that there are times that I speak rapidly.
Uh-huh.
But compared to how other people in parts of the country speak, I don't think so.
No.
I think it's just that people have... A lot of them are trying to divide their attention and do 2 tasks at once.
That is true. And it is...
that causes a lot of error.
I'm trying to think of what it's not quite ADHD brain, it's that brain rot type of shit. Like, you have to have Subway Surfers and go by the same speed as TikTok, basically, to communicate.
No. Because those people are not communicating.
No.
All they're doing is breaking brains.
But as far as you saying that it started Monday, yeah.
Because it was the thing. Because I do have a lot of Virgo. And I'm, at this point in life, I'm making that shit work for me. And to sit there and go, okay, I have X number of days on X number of whatever it is, so I need to go ahead and call the pharmacy so that the refill, because I'm not one of those people that pulls up and makes everybody wait.
No.
Because that's rude.
No, you try to get in and get out as soon as possible.
Yes. Because it makes everybody's world simpler. And so to be told that, oh, I have to wait to get a refill on fast-acting insulin because my insurance was not going to cover it. And it's like, what?
What? Bogo's
And I got to thinking about this because I take 2 types of insulin. I take a long-acting insulin, and then I have to take a fast-acting, which I have to take prior to meals.
Yes.
To do that, I have to take my glucose level. I have to calculate how many carbs I'm going to eat to determine how much insulin that I'm going to have to take prior to eating. Sometimes I miss it, and then I have to take an adjustment dose. Okay? And diabetes is stupid and it's complicated, and it makes me math and it pisses me off. Bottom line. And it's like, so I got to thinking about it, and I'm like, I'm on a sliding scale on the fast-acting insulin. What part of sliding scale are they not understanding?
They don't understand that it means like, okay, so you're diabetic. You need to, sometimes people do need to eat more carbs than they want to. So that means more insulin. That means lesser medication. And so you need a double supply of that medication. They don't understand that.
There should not, anybody who's diabetic and is insulin dependent, they should not have to jump through any hoop.
No.
Period.
No.
And so I called Medicaid this morning. And so I started out my day with government bureaucrats.
If you are 3 days early picking up insulin, it should not matter.
I wasn't 3 days early. I was on my last insulin pen.
And that was yesterday.
To the point, well, it was today that I called.
Yeah.
Because I had enough. They told me it was going to be yesterday. Friday.
What?
See, this is why that assault charge is still on the table. It could still happen. Anyhow, I had a certain amount that I thought was going to have to last me until the next day, which meant that I took the long-acting, which I had plenty of, but I took the same dose, and so it was a matter of using a small amount, like 3 units. The normal, if you're going to eat, the smallest amount of the fast-acting is 10 units. I took 3.
Right.
Because it was a matter of fasting.
Yes.
Because I was going to have to make this medication last. And so it was a matter of thinking about this more and calling Medicaid and trying to explain to people who have no idea what the hell I'm talking about. And it's like, oh, well, here, call this number. And then the person I spoke with there is like, oh, call this number. And the reason it was a matter of carriers, and to sit there and go, all right, if I'm having difficulties with getting medication or something like this, I know that it's not the open enrollment or whatever the term is when you can change providers. I think this is considered an emergency time to switch. This is why. Yeah. And that was the reason for calling Medicaid and letting them know there's a problem with this particular, plan, with this particular provider. And also my therapist had been having trouble getting paid by the provider.
Yeah, which is like a no-go.
Yeah, because
you need that therapist.
Yes, I need the therapy.
But she's also one that works really well with you.
Yes, she's the only one. She is the only one. And I told her, I said, if something happens to where I could no longer see you, I just wouldn't. Because the thought of having to explain all this shit to somebody else is overwhelming.
Yeah. Having to go through the whole story again.
Yes. And people get wore down.
They do.
And so then it was a matter of contacting diabetes doctor, the nurse. Now, to sit there and go, hey, I called you Monday. Nobody had called me back. This is what's going on. I'm fasting. I'm doing this to try to make the insulin switch. What the hell is up? And she called me back, and she's wonderful. And God love her, she must have been working from home today. Because towards the end of the conversation, you have small child going, Mommy, Mommy, Mommy. I knew that sound.
Mommy, Mommy, Mommy.
I started to ask her if it was a Pisces.
Mama, Mama, Mom, Mom.
I truly did.
Lois.
I started to ask if the child was a Pisces.
Lois. Mommy.
So,
Mama. What?
Anyhow.
Hi.
Because these people have to deal with the bureaucracy daily. And it's maddening. It's maddening to everyone.
It is.
But at least she did get it fixed. And I don't know if this was a mercury in mayonnaise clusterfuck or what. Because it did have to do with communications. And different things like that. So I did finally get the damn insulin.
You did.
But I had, for those people that's going, oh, it's all about gluttony and obesity. All right. This was what happened. I had only had black coffee. That was it.
Mm-hmm.
And my glucose level was still 140. And it was funny because I told the girl at the pharmacy what the numbers were, and she's like, that's high. And in the back of my brain,
it's like, no shit.
It was like, I'm fucking diabetic. Of course it's high.
No shit. It's just a stupidity. Mercury in mayonnaise. And this mercury in mayonnaise has been glitching people's brains out like no other.
It has. And it was just, oh my God. I mean, honestly, it was one of those that I just wanted sort of to go to the last resort, which is running around in circles and screaming.
At this point, what else to do? What else is there to do other than laugh, cry, or shit?
All three simultaneously.
Shit. It has been a fucking week already, and we haven't even made it to Friday.
Well, this will come out on Friday.
Yeah, but it's still Thursday as recording.
You have to laugh about it. And at the end of the day, it's like, well, I survived. You know, I was able to eat. And it's just, it's crazy. It has just been crazy.
It's been a week. Head on table.
We honestly are having autumn-ish weather.
We are.
And even this evening, I mean, you had the heavily overcast sky, rain here and there and everywhere. And then this evening, winds coming in and leaves flying off the trees. And it's like, it ain't time for this yet. And in the school bus. And it's... Robert Phoenix keeps talking about us being shifted onto a different timeline. Yeah, it's weird, but I had noticed that for a long time, that it would be one season, but it felt like a different season. Right. It just felt different.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it would be like the dead of summer, and it feel like
you could feel autumn. You could just feel it.
Which is that's and it's like that's suspicious. Well, that's weird.
It was weird, but also as far as the weather patterns and all that stuff, that was weird. As people's gardens and different things that they were growing, not quite right this year.
Yeah, I mean, my plants got stunted. But also, we have leaves falling off the trees already. And that's not normal.
Well, it's weird. And we were in a El Nino. I don't know when that shifts to something else. But it was interesting because Stephon Barnes was, I don't know if he was the guest or the other dude was the guest. Let me see what his name was on a live stream. I caught part of it.
Bogo spent it.
And after that, let's see. His name was Astrologer Joe. Joe Critical must be his name.
At least it's not Moist Critical. He got canceled.
Yeah, he did. But it was a really good interview, and I'll have to go back and listen to the rest of it. But Stephon Burns was talking about in the next, I can't remember at this point. I had to go back. I'll put the link to it. I did post it over on X.
Okay.
So if you want to go over there and get the link. As far as this great conjunction that's coming up at a certain point.
Oh, God.
And they go...
Great conjunction that's coming up. All right, Miss Agra.
As far as magnetic fields of these different planets. And that's another thing I really enjoy about Stephon, because he puts into the mix the science. He's trying to figure it out from a physical standpoint instead of just a woo-woo.
Yeah.
An intangible something.
Oh no, every single time I hear a great conjunction, I think of Agra.
Yes, because he's got lots of Aries. He's got lots of Aries.
But she was also, like, she knew all about that stuff.
Yes. Yes. But the fact that we are in a solar maximum cycle and how all these things, this is not coincidence. And Burns was talking about how the Earth has the strongest magnetic field.
Yeah.
And that people would think that this stuff just happened. That blows my mind.
Well, that the fact that we have the greatest magnetic field, that makes a lot of sense, because so many other planets have low gravity, and so that where we have high gravity, that is that magnetic just field.
We're the only planet in this little part that has peoples.
Yeah.
That has life forms.
Well,
the reason we have life forms is because of how everything works together so that this planet can have life forms.
To our knowledge.
I said within our little thing.
Yeah.
Within our little thing. That assault charge is still on the table. It really is. Yeah. But they were talking about this great awakening. And the fear, and they were talking about, don't get caught up in the fear. It's pointless.
Didn't he say, like, a lot of people were going to be, like, going off the edge?
Yes. Yes. Because some of the things they were talking about, that some people are just mentally not going to be able to handle it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This would be a good time. This really would be a good time for me to get rid of my smartphone.
That, or if you can't develop some kind of self-control, then yes, do what you need to do. You know, because what's it going to do? If you lose your mind, it's going to make you ineffective. We've got enough people that are mindless, let alone totally losing their shit. Like Gemini Burrito Lady.
What?
Yes, the one I talked about that they had the story about the lady that was in Chipotle and she had flinged a burrito at somebody and claimed it was because she was a Gemini.
God!
No.
Oh, that one!
You are just emotionally immature and have no self-control.
You cannot blame your zodiac sign for being an ass.
No. That's just lack of self-control.
Yeah.
And this is one of the things, those of us who have studied martial arts, integrity and karma, I'm looking at you, that to learn how to control self, learn how to control the emotions, learn how to control the mind, learn how to control the body as best you can, without being, ruled by these things, to work with these things. And Eastern thought and Western thought is so different.
It is.
And so this is one of the things, having studied Zen and Buddhism and Stoicism, I take what you can use and leave the rest of any of these things. Mm-hmm. Because I read and incorporate some of these things in my life does not make me, that does not threaten my belief in Christ in the least. There are some people This is why I stay in the house. Because I have a low tolerance for the stupid, and oh my God, it is just an epidemic proportion. Yeah. So I don't know if I'm going to have to become more hermit.
No, I think you just need to start calling them out left and right.
No. Because it doesn't. Never try to teach a pig to sing. It wastes your time and annoys the pig.
No, but it relieves some stress on your part.
Well, that's again.
Or does it?
The best way to avoid a punch is don't be there. And if I can minimize my stress level right now, yeah, I'm going to do that.
Yeah.
And it's just like after we finish the recording, and I plan on doing very little tomorrow. I'm hoping, excuse me, that the universe plans on me doing very little tomorrow.
I would like to go on a drive tomorrow.
Oh, you can go and do and run and romp and leave me be.
Well, that's fine. You can stay at the house because I like to do my thing. I like to just drive around.
Yes.
I like to just drive around, not even go anywhere in specific. I just like to drive around, see new places. That's it.
Well, again, with the Virgo thing, I understand that every time I turn the key on the car, I see dollar signs. I do.
Oh, so for me, it's like, okay, I'll have the money at some point. It will be okay. I'm treating myself to a drive. It's going to be okay. God's going to provide.
Well, and that was one of the things that Stefan Burns, that I did hear him say, and he is a God. I could have hugged him for saying that. Because with some of this manifesting stuff, it's like, oh, I have. And he said, no, it's okay to acknowledge in the moment that you don't have.
Yeah.
To not gaslight yourself.
That's the delusional thinking.
Yes.
And it's like, okay, that's not how it fucking works. That's not how prayers work.
No.
It's like, okay, yes, I am in need of something right now.
Absolutely, to acknowledge that you have a need.
Yes.
And to trust that God will make a way to provide.
Mm-hmm.
Now, the problem comes with some of these people thinking that they can sit there on their ass with their hand out. God is not welfare.
No. No, he is not. You cannot take that shit for granted.
No, it is a matter of he expects you to do what you can do.
Uh-huh.
That's the reason he healed the people. So that they could go out and continue to be productive. Because when you are productive, that gives you a greater sense of fulfillment of self. You're helping somebody else. It's just all for the good.
It gives a sense of purpose.
Everybody needs a sense of purpose. And this is one of the problems that we're seeing right now, is that people they're just wandering aimlessly.
Mm-hmm.
And it's really tragic. And the solution is not more government bureaucracy.
Exactly.
Because when the government becomes the largest employer in a nation, there's a problem.
Oh, yeah. And I would rather the government just stay the fuck out of our lives.
That was the intention of the founding fathers.
I don't want a fucking one world government where we are monitored 24/7.
I get it, but this is where people to try to do what they can do to prevent that, which does include prayer. But it also includes, that is one of the things about X that I appreciate, because when you have some of these elected officials and they have the social media account, you can sit there and call them out.
Mm-hmm.
I appreciate that.
Speaking of prayer, that Bible study book that I got earlier, I don't know if you told the people at some point about that book or not. I love that book.
Yeah, it seems to be a
I
quality
really do.
book. And it was a matter of reading through it to make sure that it wasn't woke.
Mm-hmm.
Because that is happening with a lot of things. But this was actually a true study book. It could be used beneficially.
Yeah, and I really do like the fact that it gives out the exact passages in the Bible.
Yes.
So I can look it up and read it for myself.
You're supposed to read those before and then use the study guide afterwards.
Yeah. That's why I like it.
Mm-hmm.
I like that a lot.
Mm-hmm. It helps with deeper thought
Mm-hmm.
and to explain these things. So it's just, yeah. But my intention is to start my weekend one day early, and I'm going to drink some of the Stephon Burns sleep tea with the Blue Lotus tonight. Oh, God. And it's just like, ooh. It was like, today was like 12 years long.
5011.
5011
years long.
And this 8-8 Lionsgate.
35th first.
No. At least we don't have to do this one again.
Yeah. I don't know. I got like weird deja vu like for the past couple of days, and it's wigging me out.
Well, that's anyhow. Final thoughts. God. Final thoughts.
Stay sane. Stay sane.
Make plans so that you can stay sane.
Yeah.
Plan ahead.
Loves it.
Autumn. Go out and look at some of the, Halloween offerings that they have. They're slowly trickling into the stores. Including the acorn squash, which I happen to adore. I adore those.
Yeah. I had an idea for you.
Oh, God.
This autumn, you could share to our subscribers playlists that you have made that are Halloween playlists like years past.
Oh, I would love to be able to do that. I don't know how I could do that legally because, don't know how I could do that.
You make the playlist on YouTube, and then you link the playlist in the description.
Well, I guess I could do that. But that would take hours. I would be, And then they would have to deal with the YouTube ads and all that stuff. I don't know that I could find the same songs to make the playlist on Spotify.
Oh, that's okay. I've already got them all.
So,
I've already got them all.
Okay. Well, good. Good. And that's your final thoughts?
Yeah.
He's sitting here looking at me. It's like, and he honestly, this is why he likes Chihuahuas. Because I'm over here looking like I'm ready to drop. And he's still like that little Chihuahua going, and I'm like,
I am that Chihuahua.
Contemplating bad things.
I am that Chihuahua. Listen, I don't got many people to talk to. You're the only one here. I don't talk to any friends online anymore, hardly.
But you have options. Go online and talk to BB.
Mama.
Go on her Discord server or something. I don't know. Whatever she does. Some of that stuff. You have options. You do. You all have options also.
Do any of you play games? You want to play with me?
If you have had, oh God, if you experiences with paranormal, supernatural, encounters with UFOs, aliens, cryptids, tinfoil hats. If you would like to share survival tips, put that in the comment section. That, or you can send us an email, cupofcoffeewithscream, extra scream, at gmail.com. Yeah, it's there in the description box. And
if you like this video, comment, like, share, most of all, subscribe. Also, check her out on X, previously known as Twitter, at Warlanda, COCWS. Also, check her out on BitChute, Rumble, and YouTube for Orlando's Cup of Coffee with Scream. Thank you all for joining us, and have a good.
I will say that later in the evening, there was someone from Medicaid who called, and they, as far as to make sure that I had gotten, to address my concerns again, and to make sure that I had gotten my insulin.
And it was the blessings of God that they did that.
Mm-hmm.
And the fact that you were able to get your insulin today.
There are good people out there.
Yeah.
Be one of the good people that's out there.
But for some reason, the internet doesn't highlight the good people.
No. Because fear sells. Yeah. And business is good. Know that you are loved. Treat other people the way that you would like to be treated. Practice self-control. Be a blessing. It'll be a blessing to yourself and others.
Mm-hmm.
And Lord willing, we'll see you on the next cup.
Yep.
Bye.
Bye.